Hello everyone, this is part number 3 of our new series around Trozan Sky Shard Druid, one of the most iconic classes in the game and the true CDR caster. In the last episode we managed to reach Dead Man's Gauge, but I'm gonna go a little bit back. One attribute point. Gonna talk to Barnabas, to trigger the whole quest line.
Come, friend, right to business. Nobody's been.
And we can proceed forward. I think we are pretty good. We have some money. Not the best resistances, but still. Which reminds me, I have to craft myself scaled height. 84, a little bit better than 70. Usually on a caster, especially this type of casters, I'm not standing still, like kiting. Maybe 90-92 as armor absorption. I don't wanna waste all of my slots for defensive components. Gonna end up deal no damage. Another important thing, I need lighting to cold conversion, so I can fully convert all the nodes, Shattered Star especially. Here we have to be careful, these guys they deal vitality damage. I have to keep distance. On top of that I have to look for Ecrix, as well the Devotion Shrine. Ideally, he's gonna be next to the Devotion Shrine. He's gonna save me a lot of time, and he is. This is my second run that I have such a look. He can hurt a lot, so... But at this point I have so much damage, that doesn't matter. I'm gonna step back. This devotion comes with tons of full damage. I almost forgot to trigger the quest. So shard, this gonna solve a little bit my vitality problems. For now I'm fine, I don't take so much damage. Be sure you take this rift, it's very important. Later on I'm gonna do Pine Barrens. There is an amulet that I want. It's not necessary to kill everything. I'm gonna switch to the objective. There is nothing these guys can give me. But from time to time I can press my Trozans just for a passive experience. I'm gonna debuff him. He definitely has some auras and stuff. You can't see it, but a lot of bosses, they have defensive auras or stuff around them. So nullification in a tough fight works very well. So never a bad thing, especially spellcasters. You want to put them down. I'm gonna doing the mastery. I think after all I have to put some points in a Shattered Star. Comes with a crit damage. Cyaridin. Definitely two very useful ointments. I'm probably gonna need the ether one for some of the next parts, especially amalgamation. But let's bring Kulgrim here and start the questline fully.
So how do good work?
A little bit notes. There is another one here. I clicked the ointment by mistake, but my poison resistance is pretty good, so not a big deal. There is a hero. We love heroes, especially in a burst build like this, when we just one tap them. Let's check the house. No corpse. Usually I don't put too much effort to this quest. And that's done. There is another house over here. He's not here. We have to go back for the Dahlia's journal and devotion shrine as well. I don't want to miss that. It's a very easy quest, very easy experience, some reputation on top, all the good stuff. After all, I'm gonna check the There have to be one more house here. Now this leads to the tonic quest. So the other house here. So this time we got lucky. Time to get the shrine. This is another 2 points, one in a shattered star, more damage. Also 2 types of damage, so if there is something kinda resistance, lightning damage is gonna cover that gap. Of course, mana increases as well. Sorry, not mana, energy. I play Diablo 2 all together with GRIMTOOLS, so sometimes I get confused about the resources. So apologize if I call this mana. It's just muscle memory. Here is one of the best quests if you follow the series. I just love it. It's 1 kill but like quadruple of the experience. Lore wise, everything is explained here. There is a little girl that's possessed by one of the high generals of the Catonics. This is Baloknat. He's a master of Hellfire. Usually you can kill her here, or you can let her rip all the camp, kill all the people. I honestly prefer to deal with her here. Gonna nullificate, less elemental damage. Baloknat is a elemental user in general fire. This quest is one of the best in the game, comes with a tons of reputation. Just I don't know why for rovers, probably these guys they are rovers. But the best thing is Blood of Caton. Extremely rare material, very hard to farm. Usually you don't farm this, you farm ancient hearts and transform them at the necropolis. I make a huge detour, I'm gonna teleport. There is another very interesting encounter here, which I like. There is a people that run away from the city, they plan to set themselves in the farms. They don't believe there's gonna be apocalypse and stuff. So they set their camp here and basically all the vultures kill them. And this is the encounter, vultures comes for you as well. There are gonna be at least one hero, sometimes when you are very unlucky, there is none. But our Frost Ointment is a very good find. There's gonna be not exactly one short chest, but the next tier before that. There is a vault note, everything is explained here about their story, why they run from Homestead and stuff. How he was so happy that the birds was so happy as well. He didn't realize this is actually vultures. Another hero. Another nullification to remove the Beta Auras. Nullification is probably the best tactical skill in the game. If you use correctly, that's gonna make a huge difference in your playstyle. Nullification and mirror using determines if the Arcanist is good or not. Most of the Arcanist players, they're kinda bad. They don't know how to use properly nullification or poor game knowledge. When it's soft cap becomes even more useful because gonna be on a 7-8 second cooldown, maybe less, depending on your gear. But it's gonna make huge impact in your playstyle. Now is on a very long cooldowns, that's why I don't spend it. I like to have it when I need it. For a dangerous heroes, mini bosses, that kind of stuff. Time to find a royal hive. We got lucky. This areas is very good for me. Mob's gonna be stacked and I can leech a lot of experience. I'm gonna nullificate him. He has some defensive auras, he's pretty tanky usually. As you can see, first Trozans they deal almost no damage, but after I nullificate him, he dies in a seconds. Next Vizier, he's not so tanky. I just have to find him, but maybe I'll find him later. Actually, he's here. I'm gonna nullificate him as well, just for a safety reasons. Next step is taking the devotion. 2 points, 1 shatter star for a little bit lightning damage. We're gonna start as a hybrid, but definitely I'm gonna look for the conversions. Because my devotion path's gonna be pure cold for the most part. I plan to get Amatok, Murmur, and probably Ultus. I'm gonna press my relic. That's where we take tons of vitality damage. I have to change my ring components and I'm gonna do it now. I don't like this damage. Was 1/3 of my bar. That means I have to boost my... I have 1 crystal if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I had more. I have 2, so I'm gonna swap both rings. And my problem with the vitality is solved. I'm gonna leech energy as well for the enemies that use spells. which is gonna help me to mitigate a little bit more my energy. And as you can see now, they barely hurt me after I fix my problem. Another dangerous devotion comes with a lot of passive damage from the floor. This is Colossus. Gonna nullificate him, nullificate me as well. That's gonna remove the debuffs from me. Terrible roll on the ghost ring, but I don't time for this. Usually I can skip him. I'm here mainly for the devotion. But I think a little bit more loot not gonna hurt me. And at the moment my gear is in a very good state. My build as well. Just I have to spend my devotion before I approach the queen. Let's see what we aim for. I'm gonna finish Sailor's Guide. That's gonna open several options. What I want ideally at first is a Rowan's Crown, which means I'm gonna need green and purple. Ideally we want Toad as a start probably. And for green we're gonna need another devotion for the greens. Probably I'm gonna go for Scholar's Light and I'm gonna remove the Crossroads. After that, when I have enough green, I'm gonna remove Scholar's Light as well. But for now I need 6 greens so I can unlock both Rowan's Crown and Murmur, so I can max them in the next 20 points maybe. And this is gonna open my build pretty well, because already I have a nice proc to mitigate. I have some other resistances. And I think it's time to get first purple. It's gonna be much more beneficial. I need this 8 vitality res, so I'm pretty close to cap. And honestly, Toad gives a very good colors for most of the builds, because for a 4 point spend I get 3 purple and 3 green. This is a very good deal. I'm gonna clear the odds. Here you can nullify yourself if you take too much debuffs from her. I'm gonna nullify it myself when I finish her until I wait. So here is the moment. I remove the slow, remove the poison damage as well, so I can restart the battle in a pretty good health without any debuffs. She's gonna die pretty quick. We just have to take care of the crystals. The meteors, sorry. But usually 3 Trozans and she's dead. So maybe around 6-7 seconds, according to my cooldown timer. Trozan Sky Shard is absolutely one of the best skills to kill bosses during the campaign. Endgame is a little bit harder because you need good position and also very good management to your mirror and nullification if you want to survive. Druid is a very squishy endgame. He can reach some mitigation, but he doesn't possess a large life pool. And on top of that, apart from the absorbs and the regeneration, he is not very tanky. But if you play this correctly, you can clear all the game, creating loot. There is a several druids that kill all the bosses in the game. Here is an ideal moment to pop up my ointment. That's gonna put me at 68. But I'm gonna kill amalgamation pretty quick. I'm gonna nullify, just for a safety reason. I'm gonna dodge the Sunder. I'm gonna pop up my relic and finish the boss. Druid is a pretty flexible class, especially if you play Trozan or as a electrocute totem dot class, which at the moment is probably the best druid approach, but I found the playstyle a little bit. The playstyle is exactly the same if you play Diablo 2 Trap Assassin. It's pretty much the same, which is honestly not my favorite. But I use several totem casters in the league to clear certain bosses, because it's one of the best boss killers in the game. You just have to press the totems and they do everything for you, and you basically just dodge the mechanics that make this build so powerful. Probably at some point I'm gonna do a series around it as well, but I just found CDR casters much more fun.
There was much. My scouts have reported terror.
Just the person I'm looking. There are two other groups.
So here is a tough choice. Usually Hyman's Chosen, they don't offer nothing to you, but
I have come to represent Kaiman's Chosen as the one you
that's video. They come with tons of cold items and cold ointment, I think. So for this playthrough is a good and wise idea to stick with them. We're gonna bring this dairy. I'm gonna port to the rovers camp, take some extra reputation. I want to hit honored with them. They have gloves that I want, and they have other stuff that I want as well. I already hit respected. So I want, I think, no, this is no, definitely the gloves. Not this one. This one with a casting speed, total damage and rough stats. And they have I need runestone, restless remains.
iron well spent. Come see what's left of my wares.
Oh, and vengeful rate as well. This is a good, very good medal and amulets and rings for a cold damage. I'm not gonna use it. I prefer a little bit tankiness, but it's an option. I'm gonna buy the gloves now because I'm anyways here. So this one is a pretty good high roll. 8 is okay. Not the best, not the worst. I prefer Homestead boots. They comes with chaos and ether resistance. I'm gonna check my dynamites. I need 3. I have it. So that's a good sign. Let's check Homestead. We are close to Respected. I'm gonna hit Respected when I clear Pine Barrens, which is gonna be right now. I'm gonna port to the Prospector's Trail and clear one of my favorite zones in the game. Quests, very good. Basically hunt some bosses, which is always fun. Also, I have to craft myself something better, probably a fervor. I think fervor is gonna complement the build better. Instead of this one serves me well as a second, basically, energy potion. Buff is not that extremely good. It adds some damage, but nothing crazy. Let's take the quests. This is why cold is probably the safest damage type in the game. You basically freeze everything in place. Much easier for yourself to target, also mitigate, reposition. As you can see, I freeze in place all the tough mobs so I can have enough time to finish them. Later on we're gonna unlock several devotions that gonna have similar effects. So we're gonna have a lot of crowd control. We're gonna use a medal component as well. That's gonna place freeze when I arrive. So I can CC every time I reposition. Time to pop up here. Mogara can be pretty rippy. She loves casters. My armor is bad. My physical resistance really bad as well, but at this point they nerf the physical resistance, so I have to be extremely careful. I'm gonna remove her buffs. She's not swift anymore for the next 15 seconds, so she's pretty slow. That's how important is a proper nullificate. As you can see, usually she had this buff on top of her head that represents Swift modification. This green like punks scratches. But when I nullificate her, she basically was nerfed to the ground. She was very slow. Instead of placing her combination, which usually is she hits you with her thunder and after that she plays double attack with her fangs, which can be very... There is a healer. Now we have to find the right hole. Usually the right hole is that one that's not shown on the map. I'm gonna check first the north part. There is a totem, usually this one is just ancient. It's gonna be shamblers, probably. Very easy kill. I take some damage from the manticores, but I think it's a fair trade. 20% life bar for a whole totem is not too bad. Nullification. This is not the right hole. We need hole that's not shown on the map. Sometimes it's exactly in front of you and you just don't see it. I have several playthroughs like this. This is not the right hole again. Definitely it's somewhere that I pass, I just don't see it. That's a little bit confusing. Yeah, my camera angle. I just pass it. Another level. This one's gonna be directly star packed, max out. This gonna put CDR on my casts, which I definitely need. This guy is frozen, definitely nullification. Lightning damage is gonna finish him off after all the auras drop. I saw several players just sitting there spamming skills and just don't comes to their mind to use nullification. Nullification again. That's basically clear my debuffs as well, because she opens the fight instead of me and she puts some slow and bleed. and I was pretty close, so I can altogether nullificate her and debuff myself. Here is a very nice amulet that I want to use. Skytar hat. It's a cold base. But honestly, Ascendant Cask is better. Comes with modification to Maven and skills to Maven, which is a very important skill for this build. And I like the 15% armor. Probably I'm gonna rely on this helm for the whole journey, especially if I roll some cold prefix suffix. I'm gonna nullificate Goliaths. Extremely horrible drop. I have to come again, cause this is pet prefix and basically bleeding damage suffix. It's horrible. I need something better, and on top of that I don't receive anything from this amulet apart from a little bit cold damage as an implicit and one Torcanist. But there is not so good stuff. The other option for amulet, which is actually pretty good, is Elena's Necklace. But that quest is gonna be open after I hit Honored with Devil's Crossing, which is not gonna be normal. Usually this happens after I finish Act 1 in Elite, because I definitely have to finish that in this playthrough. I have to change my armor, definitely. I'm gonna kill basically Goliaths off recordings, just to not waste your time and don't make the video like 2 hours. We got Juggernaut. This is hands down the best leveling relic in the game. Doesn't matter its place as a soldier relic, every single class can use it and survive the whole journey. And honestly, I'm gonna swap for Juggernaut when I have the materials. It's just too good. All the stats on this relic is gonna scale with you, because most of them percentage, like offensive abilities percentage, and the heal as well. It's a part of your max heal and something flat on top. But it's an amazing proc that's gonna keep me alive. And the relic is a completely hybrid relic. It's an offensive relic with a defensive proc. That's what makes that relic unique. Doesn't matter which class you pick, every single class benefits from it. But yeah, soldiers base, they benefit fully. And usually ideal you want Hound or something Shaman based, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be that lucky to found this. And honestly, Hound gives you just one to Arcanist, is not even that good. Here is a kinda annoying, it's a little bit huge density, but I'm not gonna kill everything, of course. But definitely gonna grab the dynamite, is for free. This boss is not so scary, especially I'm capped on a bleeding resistance. He's gonna hit a little bit harder, but nothing that can't be managed. At this point, I think it's good to swap one of my seal swatches for a better component. I'm gonna debuff myself, also nullificate him. I'm gonna save some distance, gonna pop some cooldowns. If you don't stay at the pulse, he's pretty harmless. As you can see, absolutely healthy kill, fast as well. One shot chest, treasure room. And this is gonna place me to bring back the quests. That's a level, which means immediately maxing out Star Pact. One more quest to take care of it. And probably I'm gonna end up the episode here. I'm gonna check what materials I need for the Juggernaut because I don't remember clearly. I have to shop a little bit, so this is a seller. Definitely sell. This on Goliath's terrible, I'm gonna sell this as well. These things I need them, this cask as well for the next part. Probably I'm gonna rely on it. I forgot to mention, I kill Rolderatis once more for a battle offhand, and definitely he drops me something very good. That's basically Mystic of Torrents. It's more like lighting base, but I am already sort of hybrid, so lighting damage and electrocute damage gonna help me a lot with my clear speed. I'm gonna use anyway Storm Totem at some point for a support skill instead of spam some random stuff. But not now. Now I want to focus on my main attacks.
See you around. Come see what's left of my wares.
I never check Ikrik's medal. Terrible. Ulra Prax. I'm gonna stick with armor for now. I'm gonna remove some crossroads to open my toad and my Scholar's Light. You don't need yellow and pink at this point, I think. Probably I'm gonna need pink No, I don't need it. That's good stuff. I'm gonna finish Toad. And I'm gonna start Scholar's Light. And that's gonna place me pretty close to both that I need. So I can increase finally my damage. And I gonna get resistance shreds on top. So I can deal with all the mobs that resistance. I am on the way to craft myself belt as well. But let's check Juggernaut, what we need to farm for it. It's gonna be hard. All around blood is very hard to craft. Rampage, I think I don't have it. Yeah. I gonna slow down a little bit this craft. But this is amazing. It's a very nice heal on a very short cooldown. That comes with tons of regeneration for 6 second duration on a 3-second cooldown. This is gonna be up all the time. But probably I'm gonna craft this mid game. I place all self-found, but if you don't place all self-found, you can craft this immediately. It's gonna help you a lot. And thanks everyone for watching. It's gonna see you in the next time.